Welcome to 13 Cents More, the podcast. I am E. Probilski, an author, editor, and book publisher. I have done all these different things for many years, and I am here to share book publishing insights, personal anecdotes, information about my books, and so much more. Let's get into it. Hello, friends. I'm sure you have noticed I have been gone for a couple of weeks. I mentioned a few times that I would be speaking at a large author conference, and that is in fact where I have been. I am back with things to say, however, so good to be back. So what did I learn at Author Nation in Las Vegas for a week? I will be the first person to admit I did not attend a ton of the talks. They were wonderful, categorically. However, as a 16-year industry veteran, most of the talks were things that would not benefit me right now in my career. They were either things that are too crunchy for me to be dealing with, or they were a little more remedial than where I'm at, which was fine. To be completely honest with you, a lot of conferences don't really serve people in my bracket at this point, because I know a lot of the things. My biggest sticking point is implementing them. So it would be career-changing for people at other places in their careers, but for me, that's not quite where I'm at. So what did I spend the week doing that was so helpful and so informative? Well, I spent my time networking. I spent time with people getting to know them, having deep talks about writing, disability, neurodivergence, editing, and all kinds of things, honestly. One of the things that I have come to understand is that the longer I do this, the more I realize what I know. And I know that sounds kind of cheesy or stupid, but really it isn't. Again, 16 years is not a small chunk of time that I have been working at this. I have seen trends come and go, platforms rise and change and sometimes collapse. I've watched marketing avenues come in and dry up and then pivot. There are a few things that haven't really changed, but I have witnessed a huge amount of shaking up of the industry as the rise of the indie author has become prevalent, because I started this back when indie authors, KDP, and all of that was just starting to happen. This is not to say I'm some wise old man on the mountain, though I kind of am at this point. I'm almost 40, I've got the gray hair. But I don't have the riches and business to show for it, even though my editing company does quite well. That said, what I know and what I can put into practice on my own are completely separate discussions. Being disabled, I don't have a lot of energy or, frankly, money to do a lot of the things that would take my career to the next level, so I stay in my lane and do things like this podcast to help get other people up that hill. Spending the week in the company of people at all stages of the industry, from folks like Todd McCaffrey and Tony Lee and Mel Cooper, to people who have yet to publish a single book, gave me an opportunity to speak with everybody. And from that, there are in fact a few things that really stood out to me that I would like to share with all of you. One of the first things that struck me is that authors are really tired. My friend Russell Nolte said recently in an absolutely incredible article that authors are pulled in so many different directions and told that we need to be endless content generators. The current climate has authors kind of expecting to release so many books so fast that there's no time for artistry or even breathing. Readers expect constant fulfillment without having to wait ever. Or so we're told, anyway. I happen to know differently, but we're so conditioned by this binge watch culture to think that we have to keep up with that alone that it's kind of destroying us. Which leads me to my second takeaway. There is hope beyond that. There is so much more to the heart and energy of creatives than the gristmill of content generation. Don't get me wrong, we've got to create content in the form of books and marketing materials, but we're not machines. And it seems to me like a lot of the rapid release fever is starting to break amongst portions of the industry because it doesn't work well anymore. And even the big names are burning out, or the people who aren't burning out are starting to turn to AI because they're burned out. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure we can all agree that that is not a healthy situation to have to turn to AI to write for you because you can't find the energy and creativity to write for yourself, which isn't a critique of them. It's more of a sad statement of the realities that they are facing and the pressures that they feel they are under. And that leads me directly into my third takeaway. AI is, in fact, not a threat to our industry. It might feel like one thanks to some of the things out there, some of the things people are saying, and having your content fed into large language models is in fact a problem. I'm not going to pretend it isn't. I'm not going to say there aren't ethical concerns. I'm not saying any of that. But what I'm saying is the shine will wear off pretty fast. It's already starting to, and a lot of the people thinking that AI is the one true way to generate a ton of money will either go on to serve markets that aren't ours, or discover that that isn't really a thing that works long term. I'm going to dig a little bit more into this in some coming episodes and talk about it again, but I came away from Author Nation not really afraid of AI's role in our industry. I'm not saying I plan on using it for my writing much, because it's not really going to do anything I can't do myself, but it does have a role in certain tasks that might help me better do parts of what I do without sacrificing the human touch, the eyes, the hands, the skills. For example, I'm absolutely never going to write my books with AI or use AI to replace my cover designer or my editing skills. That's not a thing that is going to be happening, ever. And my final takeaway from Author Nation, honestly, is that community is key. It is so profoundly important. Community is what keeps us afloat when we're drowning and keeps us motivated, excited, and moving forward in our careers. I can personally say that the compassion and solidarity of the author community is top-notch. There's really nothing like it out there in other industries that I have found, because none of us are in competition with each other. Nobody in the author community can satisfy every reader. We just can't, no matter how fast we write. I've never actually met a reader who only reads one author and doesn't read a ton of others in that same genre, at least not an avid reader. So we all succeed together. We celebrate each other's successes, we share in each other's pains, and the author community out there is huge. Getting a little vulnerable here. I don't know what's coming in 2025. When I went to the conference, I was about as low as a human being can get while maintaining my functionality. I had actually considered not going to the conference because of the election results so close to the conference, and I kind of figured, what the hell's the point? I've been wrestling with the fear of the future as a very visible member of the queer community and a disabled person. That is stuff that can't be ignored or underestimated. My physical safety is at very real risk with the upcoming situations. That said, spending time with the community there, with the people, it kind of gave me hope for something going forward, that there is a future and I can actually be in it. And that's the power of community. It took me from complete hopelessness and devastation to, okay, things are going to be tough and I can't pretend they won't be. They're going to be scary and difficult and who knows what's coming, but I have a community of people and there's a future. Buying my ticket for next year's Author Nation gave me something to look forward to, and I've really kind of needed that because with everything going on, there's not a whole lot of look forward to happening in my world right now. So moving forward, what does that mean for me for the next year, right? I'm honestly not entirely sure yet. I'm still kind of chewing over the ideas I heard at the conference while I finish up some client work I need to get done before the end of the year. But what I can say is I need to learn to stop being so timid about the fact that I've written books. I need to tell people about them more. Don't get me wrong, this podcast is still going to be what it's been, but I need to take my own advice. If nobody knows I've written books, they cannot buy them. So with that in mind, let me remind you fine folks that I have a pair of nonfiction books on the market right now that you might find helpful. They are called How to Write the Damn Book and How to Publish the Damn Book. These two are a distillation of my 16 years of experience in the publishing industry and cover everything from like story structure and how to do research. And that includes a story structure method that I have developed myself, which works for my neurodivergent brain. It doesn't overwhelm the outlining process, but does give you some kind of idea of where the story is going. So that might be worth checking out. And all the way to how to handle distribution and whether or not you should publish traditionally or not. If you're looking for guidance and answers in your writing journey, these are not a secret sauce. They aren't going to make you a bestseller overnight, but they are going to give you real, honest, detailed information from somebody who has been in the back end of the industry for a long time now. So I will see you all next week. You stay safe out there, and I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Let me know in the comments how everything went. Did the turkey run away? Did the dog eat the turkey? We had that almost happen one year. We had a dog try and steal the turkey right off the platter, and run away with it. Like, we caught her mouth open 2 inches from the turkey. So if you have any fun stories to share, please share them, because I think we could all use that right now. I hope you have a great week. I'll catch you soon.